Okay, beautiful souls. I am so excited to dig into today's topic. We're going to be talking about launch strategy, but from an energetic perspective. So I know there are so many podcast episodes where you can tune in, and I'm sure I'll be creating one of those as well, but it's all about like the tactical, do this, do that. But what I don't hear enough people talking about is the energetics behind a really powerful launch. So when you get the idea and you're excited to go after it and you start to build it, and you're starting to share it with other people. And this is your launch strategy, right? Like you're starting to build assets, you're starting to share it, you're starting to reach out to the general population and say, like, hey, this is the thing that I've decided to create. And those that are in alignment will come in. But some of the things that I don't hear enough coaches and healers talk about is the energy behind launching the thing that's in alignment with your soul, launching the thing that you're ready to change the world with. We really have to tune into what is my energy behind this launch? How am I starting to really tune into the thing that is going to have me really deeply show up for the people that I most desire to serve? What does that look like? How can I drop into the frequency of? Right. And so, one of the things that I found so powerful with this last launch that I did. So, I just launched my mastermind, Transcendence. It was the most successful launch that I've ever done. And success for me is defined by multiple things. One, it's of course the financial. Is it financially successful? Yes. But also, a big part of that is, did I attract in the people that are in alignment with my soul and vice versa? The people that the two of us are in alignment with, the people that I'm so grateful and excited to collaborate with in this community, right? That is massive success. The people that I know that as they're tapping into my energy and I'm tapping into theirs, they're now creating something that's even more impactful for the world. That is how I deeply define success, is the ripple effect of the containers that I create and what that allows other people to then create in their own life and in their own circles, right? So that is a deeper level of success. So one of the things that I really stood for with this launch was, if it feels heavy, put it down. So I think so often we hear from, business strategists and coaches like, you need to do this thing. You need to have X amount of emails. You need to make sure you're doing the email sequence this way. You need to then follow up with this. Make sure the call to action is da 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 da, right? I worked in marketing for 15 years. Like, I'm very familiar with call to actions, all of these things, like the tactics, the tactics, the tactics. However, I decided to do this launch totally different, where I said if it felt heavy, I was going to put it down. So, for instance, as I was launching this mastermind, it's 9 p.m. one night, and I'm like, oh, like all the shoulds started popping into my head. Oh, I should be sending out emails. I should be building those now. Maybe I'll stay up till midnight. I'll build the email sequence and then I'll blast it out, over the next several days. Right. And then I recognized, I'm like, that doesn't feel good. That feels really heavy. I actually don't want to stay up late and burn, like burn all of my energy out so that the next day I'm not able to serve my now clients and be able to show up the way that I desire to, as a mother, as a coach, as a healer, as a partner. So I started to recognize, I said, you know what? If it feels heavy, I'm going to put it down. And that felt heavy for me. I didn't want to stay up late and do that thing. It just didn't feel like it was in alignment. So I ended up putting that down. I didn't send any email sequences for this launch. I barely created any creative assets at all. Actually, I think I just did video where I did talk to camera, right? I actually created no creative assets for it, which is kind of wild. The only thing I created was like a landing page for people to apply to step into the space. So for me, that felt really in alignment. That felt so good. I love long form content. I love being able to do stream of consciousness. I love being able to say, God, source, universe, allow me to be a conduit for the messages that people are most desiring to receive today. So for me, videos is so much easier for me in long form content where I can just simply channel versus written word, right? And so emails are written word. So for me, it takes a little bit longer to get into the flow of it, to write, to allow my, perfectionism to kind of step to the side. That's something that I've been healing throughout my lifetime. So it's something that's been really, really empowering to say, you know what? If it feels heavy, I'm going to put it down. I don't need a perfect business strategy. I need a business strategy that's in alignment with my soul. And so that is what I deeply stand for, is if it feels heavy, put it down and build your business in alignment with your soul. Don't build it based on how someone else is making 7 or 8 figures, right? Or 6 figures, whatever it is you're scaling to. Build it in a way that feels exciting and gives you vitality to be able to show up for your business day in and day out, right? So for me, that was I'm going to start to place the emails to the side. I'm just going to do direct outreach. Like I really wanted to reach out to the people that I felt would be incredible for this space, right? Like I just got these intuitive pings. I'd be in the shower and I'd be like, oh my gosh, she would be such an incredible addition to the space. I want to play with her in that space. That feels so good. I'm just going to ping her. I'm going to see how she's doing. And I'm going to share with her that I got that intuitive ping. So for me, it was totally intuition based. It was like, who is God, source, universe asking me to connect with, asking me to collaborate with, asking me to support, asking me to just like deeply show up for. So for me, that was, I followed the intuitive hits. And when the thing felt really heavy, I started to put it down. Because ultimately, people buy things based on energy. And if we're showing up to the table and sales conversations totally run down, completely ragged, not able to serve because we've been burning the midnight oil, doing the things that don't feel like they're in alignment with us, then we're not able to fully show up and serve the way that I know that your heart fully desires to. So that was what was so powerful about this space is I decided if it feels heavy, put it down. And so then when I was on these conversations with people, I was supporting them and connecting to their vision. People were purchasing based on energy. They weren't purchasing based on, oh, this check. I mean, yes, does it check all the boxes? Yes. But ultimately, it was how do I feel being in the presence of this person? Do I feel that this person can take me to the next level? That's what you're doing for your clients. This person wants to tune into you and say, do they feel like you can take them to the next level? Do they deeply feel like you're connected to your vision, that you're not run down, that you have the energy and vitality to really show up and serve? That's how I purchase. I purchase based on the energy I feel when I'm in someone else's space. I'm like, ooh, this feels really good. Yes, it checks all the boxes, but ultimately, do I feel like this person can take me to the next level? Do I feel, grounded in their presence? Do I feel grateful? Do I feel like they have something that they can teach me? Right. And if we're showing up so run down from, doing things that are out of alignment, we're not able to deeply serve and we're not able to tap into our intuition and allow God, source, universe to move through us to serve from that perspective, to say like, this isn't about me, placing the ego to the side. Like, what does God want to move through me for you? And so that requires us to be grounded. That requires us to be in our vitality. That requires us to be connected, to pause, to meditate, to allow for that to happen, to set intentions around that happening. And so that's what's so powerful and important is when it feels heavy, start to put it down, right? I highly recommend for this next launch, whatever it is that you're launching, let your intuition guide. What feels most exciting for you to do right now for this launch? Follow the excitement, follow what it feels expansive, follow what your intuition is guiding you into. That's a completely different experience than when we're just following something by the book, right? We're not meant to build things by the book. That's the way that another human did it, but that doesn't mean that's the way that we need to do it. So it's so important for us to start to tune into our own energy to say, is this in alignment with me or is this not? And if it's not, simply put it down. The thing that I always love coming back to is, David R. Hawkins has this map of consciousness. You could literally Google David R. Hawkins, map of consciousness, middle name R, last name Hawkins. And what's really beautiful about this map of consciousness that I always guide my clients into is you can start to get a better understanding of what is the energetic frequency for an emotion that I'm having. So let me give you an example. So when I was feeling guilt, like, oh, I should be building those emails, when I look at this map of consciousness by David R. Hawkins, that shows me that my vibrational frequency was operating from a 30. Guilt is actually a vibrational frequency of a 30 on an energetic log, right? So let's hold that number for a second. Now, when I think about what I'm manifesting, right? 7, 8-figure business, deep impact on humanity, supporting, women fully stepping into their power to say yes to what lights them up and what most excites them to serve in this world, right? Their deepest purpose. And for me to help to support and igniting that within them, healing everything that's in the way and allowing them to fully step into their wealth energetics so that they can serve the way that they know that their heart and soul desires most to, right? So what is that operating on an energetic frequency? That vision right there, that is me stepping into joy. That is me stepping into peace. And so that, if I look at David R. Hawkins' map of consciousness, is operating at a 540 or a 600. Like joy is at 540 on that frequency scale, and peace is at a 600. That is me feeling that deep peace for knowing that I'm fully self actualizing in this lifetime. I am living my passion and purpose. So, what I love to ask myself is my need to be right about doing my launch strategy this way, staying up late, doing, the emails, this, that, and the other, is that more important than what I'm manifesting? And the answer is always no. And what I mean by that is staying in an energetic frequency of a 30, is that better or more aligned than staying in the energetic frequency of a 540 or a 600? Right? And my answer is always choose the peace, choose the joy. What has me feel that joy? What has me feel the peace? Lean into that, because what happens is when we're leaning into higher vibrational activities, which for every person that's different, other people writing could be a high vibrational activity for them, right? So follow what lights you up the most. When you lean into that more, you're at a higher vibrational frequency, and therefore you are manifesting in clients that are in alignment with that, money flowing in that's in alignment with that, your purpose, opportunities, partnerships, whatever it is, you are then magnetizing in what is in alignment with that frequency. So it is so important to be tuning into what is most in alignment with me. Lean into that from a vibrational frequency and start to witness how your launches completely transform from what you consider success. Okay, beautiful souls. I hope that this was supportive for you. I would absolutely love to know what landed with you most. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. That's where I love to play. My handle is at I am Christina Deering. If you're not already following me there, please share with me what most resonated with you. And of course, if this podcast episode resonated with you, please give that 5-star review. It allows more people to find the space and deeply drop into what is in alignment with their soul. Because I always ask, let me be a channel, let me be a conduit. So when people are magnetized into the space, it's because their soul knew that there was medicine for them in this space. So the more that people know about it, the more that they can actually tap into something that is a high vibrational space, the more that we as a collective feel that high vibrational energy. Okay, I'm sending you so much light and love. I can't wait to see what transforms when you start to follow your joy, your excitement, your peace, and really starting to connect to how that deeply transforms your life, not only in business, but in all aspects of your life. Okay, I will talk to you here soon. Mwah.